Welcome, friends across the world, and for those who regularly join us from the USA, may we extend a happy Thanksgiving Eve to you all, and quite possibly note that the discussion tonight will very possibly make a Disney day on Thanksgiving a little bit better. We'll be exploring how you can make your park day a little bit more calm and enjoyable, and when you maybe find that those holiday crowds become a little bit too much. As always, join us in the live chat. Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle Live.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. Well, it's Wednesday. Thank goodness, and I'm certainly glad we've got this way halfway through the week anyway. We've so much to share this week, and all I can start by doing is welcoming my fellow wafflers. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's nearly Friday. I think that's the only way I think I'm looking at.
Using my annual leave this week, I have Friday and next Monday off, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
nice long weekend.
That sounds good.
Decoration.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing as well, and I'm just going to throw this out there because Claire, you're going to Orlando on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
All right for some is all I'm saying. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's is that as exciting?
Welcome to you too, John. Thank you very much for welcome to this day.
Is it as exciting as it sounds out? Because you're only going for a short period of time, aren't you? You're not going for a big long holiday.
No, I'm going for 5 nights.
Yeah.
Which means that like every day and evening is packed full. And currently I don't have any time to go to Disney Springs at all, which is a bit of an issue because I need to go. So there's a couple of things I need to buy. So I'm not quite sure how it's all going to fit in. I think I'm just going to not sleep.
I think that's brilliant. And then just you can sleep on the plane out. Yeah.
Right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just from the minute I arrive to the minute I leave, I will be busy, I think.
Yeah.
That's what you should be.
It sounds so cool, though. And actually, it just comes at the right time of the year, doesn't it? Because you're going and doing something totally improbable, getting a little bit of Disney magic, and that'll see you through Christmas. That'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There's lots of people to catch up with, and it's going to be a good week.
It's a great way to kick off December.
Yeah,
I don't mind December, but you know, December will be better in Walt Disney World.
Yes,
definitely.
You'll be able to go somewhere without having to turn the heating on.
I know. Yeah. I am like packing is not happening yet. I haven't even thought. So it will
last minute. Depends on
what
will
happen on Sunday evening. It'll be fun.
Yeah. The thing is, though, you're not going to be the only waffler that's out there because as we start the show, I think Robin is due to land in Orlando International Airport any time. I'll wait for the text to go and just say, I'm here, Orlando. But that would be and I know you've already got plans. We might get onto them later in the show actually, because actually we might just have time to talk about Jollywood Night. Sounds quite a thing. Yeah, sounds good. Right, shall we? I know we've got loads to pack in. I can't see Sean's comment. What's he saying now? Goodness.
Sean and Claire's Week of Fun featuring Sean's boyfriend. Oh my god. Seems a bit hard.
Dear.
And Robin as well. So
yeah. That's gonna be so cool. Have a great time, Sean. I know you will.
He's on the serious countdown. He's off to the airport on Friday, so
wow.
That is so cool.
Not long.
And then you'll lead him astray. That'll be
He said that to me earlier. He actually sent me a message saying I'm a bad influence. I was just like, all I did was tell you I booked the lightning lane for Magic Kingdom. I didn't tell you had to book one. I just, you know, I don't want to stand in a massive queue for the Jingle Cruise. I'm going to book a lightning lane.
That's something we're going to talk about later, I think, because lightning lane's always the way that everyone looks at booking to try and prevent crowds or to try and get out of the crowds. So that'd be a good topic. But I think there's so much news. I think it's probably time we kick off with it.
Definitely. So for the first time in forever, see what I did there. Let's start at Disneyland Paris, where actually, despite the recent snowfall that we reported last week, I think it was, that's been completely overtaken by the news of Disney Adventure World has been announced with an opening date of the 29th of March, 2026, which includes World of Frozen, Adventure Bay, Adventure Way, and goodness knows what else. But I tell you what, it just looks absolutely incredible. What's your take on it? Because I know, Claire in particular, I know you've been to Disneyland Paris a load of times, and it it's kind of been on the back burner, hasn't it?
Yeah,
certainly off everyone's radar during the construction of all this. But what an unveiling!
I think
we wanted to like wait till Frozen's there before going again, just maybe because we haven't been. We didn't realize the other day that we haven't been there since 2022. So we're probably overdue a trip, but I think this might be one of the things that makes me want to go back there. But I think the crowds, especially during the first opening few months, are going to be quite busy.
Yeah, I would think so.
For me, I think that the fact that it is a newly developed area, it's not like they're redeveloping an area. You know, when they redid the Marvel area from what it was before with, you know, a random selection of Armageddon and various things. Because it is a new expansion of the park, I think they've been able to keep it quite hidden. They've had big walls. They've not, you know, it's not been in a sight line for many things. And quite frankly, Disney Studios, or whatever they're calling it now, because people don't hang around there very long at the moment. And those bits that back onto there are very much indoor attractions. Unless you're on the top of one of the toy soldier parachutes, yeah, you've got the Iron Man coaster, which is all indoors. You haven't really got anything outdoors that you can see. So I think they've done a really good job at keeping things hidden, to be honest with you. And I think the announcements of what it looks like and what's going to be there far surpassed what I thought it was going to look like. I think, having read some of the information and looked at the pictures and the actual stills from the progress that they're at the moment, Adventure Way, really reminds me of Celestial Park.
Yes, I was going to say that as well, and the way that they're actually advertising the actual central hub with the and it's exactly the same. It's the same thing.
The restaurant and the bar and the walkway and the I'm like,
and the lake,
and fountains. Good grief!
I know. So I'm impressed. I think it looks beautiful, which is in keeping with Disneyland Paris. You know, it is the most stunning park.
Yeah,
the Disneyland Park, and this, you know, Walt Disney Studios has always been in need of something to bring it up to that standard, because, you know, Disneyland Park in Paris is incredible. Some of the attractions are significantly better than anywhere else. The castle is the most beautiful in the whole world, and I just think that this will elevate the other park to a similar level, I hope. And I think what they've done with Arendelle, it looks absolutely incredible. Slightly disappointed by the Rapunzel off the shelf attraction, but you know what, it will be a crowd eater and people will like it. It will be beautiful at night with the lanterns and stuff. So I think there's a lot to like and a lot to find out.
Yeah, And they've also got a Lion King area that'll follow later as well, isn't there? You know.
Yeah.
Didn't you see the accidental leak that was on the Imagineers video?
No.
So you had originally the 3 areas. One of them was originally going to be like Galaxy's Edge, was going to be a copy of Star Wars. And no, it's showing stuff from future Avatar.
There we go.
So it looks like there may be Pandora coming to Paris.
Oh, that'd be a game changer.
You just see how popular, because obviously you've got Animal Kingdom and it's heading to Disneyland. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be something that easy for Disney.
The rate that they build in Disneyland Paris, though, it's not going to be there till 2035. So I
don't know how many
it
more
might be in line with the next Avatar film.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased that Disneyland Paris is getting something new and not just a rehash of something.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it'll be super busy next summer, like insanely busy. I'm not sure that I'm going to be going anywhere near Disneyland Paris for
half of
2026.
Yeah,
but maybe early 2027, Christmas, something like that.
I'll tell you one thing though, Claire. There's a piece of merch that when I saw it, I thought I have to. It's one of them things you see and you think, "Oh my word, that is so clever!" But it's like baby trolls.
Yeah, the little.
They look cute. But
it's like Grogu, but trolls. But it's amazing.
But they interact with other trolls.
I know.
So if anyone else buys one, you're going to have these trolls actually interact.
They're really cool.
It looks so superb.
Yeah.
That's
Olaf roaming about.
Yes.
Now that is something that is shared, because that's at Hong Kong Disneyland, isn't it? And at Paris.
Yeah.
With his it's a deformable costume that actually behaves like snow. Yeah. Now, how on earth that actually is made and how you go about the Imagineering of that, I'm not going to give anything away, but it is on the we call it Imagineering on the from Disney, so do check that out. But it looks amazing. It just looks like Olaf in real life. It blew me away when I saw it.
Yeah, I think it's all going to just mean that they put the prices up even more. And I don't know how they can afford to do that, because
they've already put them up by €100 on the annual passes for the year.
Right. So hotel prices will already have skyrocketed for the 29th of March onwards, I'm sure. But that might mean there's some discounts coming for Walt Disney World for UK guests instead, perhaps. So keep an eye out for that. Not promising anything, but if everyone's going to Paris, then
we're already on quite decently priced tickets for next year anyway, aren't we? So
it'll be interesting to see what happens, because I think definitely there'll be a bit of a mass exodus to Paris.
Yeah.
Good call. Ben, I put a bit in the news, just one for you, basically. Some people missed this, and actually, I don't think it was only when we sat down and watched the Grand Prix at the weekend that Mickey made an appearance at Vegas.
Fantastic.
It was just brilliant. It was superb.
It was good. I couldn't complain. I'm not sure how the two brands go together, but there are some.
How long before Disney have a team?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe they're hinting at a replacement of Speedway. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good
point. I mean before they have an F1 team.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure.
They've gone more for owning the sport than they have going straight for a team.
Yeah, I think the issue was on Sunday was that the whole fact of McLaren getting disqualified for a hair's breadth of a skim of an underplate, and then
Terry Crews driving the top 3 drivers in a pink Cadillac made out of Lego.
Oh, there you go. I didn't see that one. Missed that one. Was that just another excuse to get a few more pink Cadillac songs in?
Yeah.
Which obviously, since Springsteen wrote it, it's more money for Springsteen. There we go. Anyway, we'll move on before we bore Claire entirely. Power nap. Hey, again, this is another one for you, Ben, because actually they've announced that Boardwalk is going to be the next resort to have a refurb next year. That's coming.
Just had a refurb.
I know, that's what surprised me.
The
Like,
thing,
I'm not even sure they've finished it.
I think what
What are they refurbing?
And they're restarting the refurb.
the boardwalk in rooms. I know a lot of
Okay.
the BBC rooms were done, and I think a lot of the in rooms were. But I wonder whether they've uncovered some more things because they didn't. It wasn't that long ago before it was finished.
No,
Yeah.
I was going to say, it feels like it was earlier this
I
year they
know
finished it.
that they are closing the artwork gallery, so
Yeah.
I wonder whether there's something to do with that. But there was a shame. We spent a few minutes walking through that gallery and realised that how expensive some of the items were. And we're going like, no, I can't spend $12,000 on a piece of artwork.
Do you think people really do
I-
go and buy something from there? You know, $12,000 piece of art. Do people actually do that?
I don't know.
Well,
It's like the
I get told I'm not
Erebus
allowed
Brothers
in.
stuff. Like the Erebus
Yeah.
Brothers stuff. I'm not allowed in there because I'm just like knock everything over. I just think, who comes on holiday
Yeah.
to Walt Disney World, bearing in mind the type of, holiday that it is, and spends $20,000 on a piece of crystal art?
It's definitely not a family
does that?
purchase, is it? It's
I just think, really, if I was going to spend $20,000 on a piece of art, I don't think I'd be buying it at Walt Disney World.
no. If I
It
spend
just
that much
seems
on Disney,
odd.
I'm probably buying more DVC points, but that's probably it.
Yeah,
No,
it's a slightly strange situation.
Yeah. Tell you what, final bit of news, and this is actually something that I think goes under the radar quite a bit, but it broke yesterday, and I actually think it's probably insignificant to many people, but actually I just think it is it fits in with so much of what we've spoken about since the pandemic. But actually, EPCOT is seeing the return of the marching bands that haven't been there since before the pandemic. They're youth bands from the Disney Imagination Campus program, and they are invited to share their music live in EPCOT. And they basically go from the American Adventure Pavilion and they do a complete circuit of World Showcase, usually of a morning.
That's quite a big step.
It is. I just think it's quite the superb thing to see. Again, live music. I know we spoke about this with Katie.
We did
in the mid-month show. Just the whole thing about not this entire thing, but actually that whole Imagination Campus in which she's involved. But that love of live, of the arts and of live music and seeing this, I just think it's for me. When I read this, I just thought, oh, thank goodness, somebody's getting there with this, and actually replacing stuff, and actually giving people that sort of dream that you can go to Disney World and actually you can go and play as part of your marching band, and actually fulfill that life dream, isn't it?
So I know that I think it's Lisa Milam's daughter has done that.
Yeah.
With her high school marching band.
Yeah.
In Walt Disney World. And I think they did Magic Kingdom. But actually, Disneyland Paris have an amazing performers program, and they have lots and lots of bands, choirs, dance groups who go and they do a whole day program where they get to go and do some parade practice, and then they get to dance down Main Street or play or whatever, or sing on whatever on one of the stages around. Usually this castle stage, and they're brilliant at it. So I think it is one of those programs to support youth arts that Disney is very committed to. So I'm really excited. Do you know when that starts, John? Is it going to be happening next week?
I think it started. I think there was a picture of it. Certainly was pictures of them yesterday. I might double check,
fantastic.
but I'm sure it is. It has begun. But
Amazing.
It just fitted so nicely with the conversation we had in the mid-month show, and I just thought, I just loved the whole fact.
I did miss that, so that's brilliant. I will look out for that next week.
Yeah. And then basically, one bit of news that it just fits in with our discussion, and actually it fits in perfectly with what I'm plugging all our different podcasts here. So our first of the month show is out next Monday, which is a bit scary, really, which means it's the 1st of December. But we share the best times of the year to visit Walt Disney World. Take you through the calendar to ensure you actually get the best possible opportunity to make the most of those Black Friday deals that might that might fall your way this week. But it's quite interesting to actually see, and this is where it'll fit into tonight's discussion. But I tell you what, as of last Friday, there was no Lightning Lane Premier passes, nor single lane passes available for Thanksgiving through each of the parks. Now, that for me tells its own tale about how much money Lightning Lanes are actually bringing in. And I guess if you are only going for a really short period of time, that's where that Premier Pass to me is just like it's like taking. Well, I won't say what I was going to say. I just think it's overpriced. That's probably. I think that's the polite way of saying it.
When you say it's like $400 for like Magic Kingdom for one day per person,
No.
and it's like
Team up with some
crazy.
friends and get a VIP tour, people.
Yeah, it's just
Cost
crazy.
you the same.
It really is crazy. And I think with that in mind, I think it's probably a perfect time to actually, let's soak up the holidays within the US. It is Thanksgiving. The crowds are massive. We know that that's always going to be an issue if you're out into Walt Disney World this week. Hence the reason Claire's not going until Monday, when the crowds will absolutely slump as everyone goes back to work.
They won't, because I'm there. Do you know what though? Even though Thanksgiving is done and it's meant to be a quiet week, there were no annual pass hotel discounts next week to be had. It's just they've obviously, I think until the 5th or the 6th, there's no discounted rooms, so they obviously don't need to do that week. So they're still going to be quite busy, I think.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are booking time off for Thanksgiving, so you want to add an extra few days onto it.
Yeah, you build around it, wouldn't you?
They're going to have a Ben Long weekend. That's what they're doing.
Unfortunately, I wish I was at Disney World.
Yeah.
Andy did it. Maybe you should.
How do you manage the crowds at Walt Disney World? And is there actually a way to avoid them? Is there a trick to it? Is each park different? Let's explore it, and let's see where we go with this. Let's start in Magic Kingdom, because actually this is the one that I think creates some of the biggest bottlenecks, and it's not going to be helped over this weekend of Thanksgiving, given the fact that there's a load of boards and we still haven't got Big Thunder Mountain back open, and obviously we haven't got that beautiful big boat that used to soak up hundreds of people and take them on a half-hour lap around the park, and then we don't have just a nice little island for people to go and just lose themselves for a bit as well. So all that missing.
Neither.
Yeah. So Magic Kingdom, what's your go-to kind of how to avoid the crowds?
Okay, so number one, and I can only go on my experience, I would, because I'm not particularly bothered about seeing Happily Ever After and having watched Starlight, I'm probably not hanging around for that either. Choose a day, if you're there at a time, I'm thinking September, October, November, December, choose a day that has a party in the evening and get out of bed and get there early and make absolute advantage of the fact that on those days where a party is happening, there is nobody there in the morning, even in the busiest of times.
Can I point out, Claire, you told us this last year, and actually it works. It works 100%. Even in August,
I'm not talking
it works.
Rubbish.
And the other side to that is the fact that if you know there's a party, the morning following the party tends to be busy.
Because people haven't gone
people
the
who couldn't, and people who have missed out on a Magic Kingdom day tend to go in the day after, but
they avoid the day of the party because the park shuts at 6. So, but actually, if you get there at 8 and you do park opening, and I've done it several times with family, with friend, and on my own, and you can smash if you are there just to do attractions, and that's not my usual style. But if your intention is to try and get some of those big ticket attractions, get Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Tiana's, Tron, those Space Mountain, get them done. You can get most of those done by 10:30 if you're there early on a party day. And then make the most of the rest of the day. As the park gets busier around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's the time to bow out.
That's
not that I'm doing that on Tuesday at all.
We'll come to that in a minute. Ben, how do you guys tend to plan your day when it's busy?
We're on site usually, so generally we need to work out what time we can get into the park, and if you're off site, you've got to think that actually the Magic Kingdom might be opening at say 8:30, wherever it's open at 9. So you got to try and work out on. It's not just getting that for early entry. We found getting that queue for early entry makes the most difference. So we can go things like, and it's going the opposite way, a bit like what you were saying, Claire, about focus on what attractions you want to do. And it's just working out what's open during that, because we're always like, well, Frontierland isn't open during the extra 30 minutes. So it's trying to work out, do you do Fantasyland or do you do Tomorrowland? And then it's working out a plan of that. But it's really difficult because we are someone who will like to do rope drop, but also enjoy being there for the evening fireworks and starlight. And when we were over Christmas the other year, because we were there actually of the week between Christmas and New Year, the Christmas parties had finished, but they were still having the parade twice a day during the middle of the day, which meant that at 12 o'clock and at 3 o'clock there was parades going on. So it was quite busy. What did go in our favour is that Elsa showed up and made it very cold at the beginning of that week. So when it's that cold, no one turns up to the park. So we made the most of that. But
what I don't understand is when people are on site and they go for early hours. So they'll get there at 7:30, Ben. Like you're saying, you get there pre-park opening.
Yeah.
They'll get into the park at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then they go and stand in a line in the Main Street bakery to get a cup of coffee.
You've waited like an hour to get into the park. Like, oh, just get their coffee.
Number one, you're on site. You've got a coffee maker in your room. That's the first point. So have your coffee before you come. But what is the point in using early hours? Even if you just want to wander around and see stuff and take photos where there's nobody there, go back to Gaston's Tavern and take photos around that area with no one in them. Yeah. Please don't go and waste that time in a queue for a Starbucks. That just doesn't, I don't get it.
What we used to do for sometimes breakfast, we would do the mobile order, but with mobile order for like an hour or two after the park is open. So we've got, we'll hit the attractions, do what we want to do, not for how long, like 7 doors. Going to be, because sometimes in the morning, depends how early you've got there, you're on and off in 20 minutes. So
exactly that, and you've got Friar's Nook right there. You can mobile order for there.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but it means one less person in a queue for me.
And I think that's also worth pointing out as well, Claire, that when you a lot of these theme parks, the way they're actually designed is to upset the flow of people as they enter. So everything's a distraction, and if you can actually ignore the distractions and actually aim to get as far into, certainly in Magic Kingdom, for us it was always Big Thunder Mountain or with Space Mountain, and you go with an actual mission that ignore everything else. Let's just go and get that done, and we'll go from there. I think a lot of people, and I think this is the other thing I encountered this summer, was the fact that if you actually limit your actual own expectations, I think we said this a few times, and I think we said it with Katie as well, but a lot of people go with this sense of entitlement of, I've paid for my ticket, I should be front of every queue, I should be here, there, everywhere, and it's my divine right to do so. And actually reel yourself in a little bit. Our day that we spent at Epic Universe in the summer, we had no expectation of, because we just thought, well, we'll go and we'll see what it's like. And if it's too busy, well, okay, we'll just have a walk around, we'll just take some pictures and it'd be quite nice. And when we got in there, we just got absorbed into it. yes, we didn't eat breakfast until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. As I was trying to, as you just
none of us are wasted away.
No, and it's just like you just become completely absorbed because you can pick up decent queue times if you keep, if you keep refreshing the app, you keep an eye on where the big crowds have gone to a certain place. Then
go the other way.
Don't follow them. Go the other way. If you've seen the parade, then in Magic Kingdom in particular, you can get onto some of those rides very easily when the parade's going.
Yeah, the backside of the parade. Get around the back of it and
miss out on the parade, and actually you can see the parade very easily from any location the next time you're in the park. So have a little bit of rationale about exactly what you can actually achieve, what you want to achieve, but also remind yourself that I'm going to be back again. So don't flog it so that either you get really irate, or your kids get irate, or other people get irate because you're being completely selfish. I think that's probably the way I would do it, and just reel yourself in a little bit and just see what you can actually go and experience.
I think it's going in with a little bit of a plan, and especially if you're only going for a few days, then it's more difficult than if you're going for 2 weeks, because there are going to be certain things that are on certain days that, if I'm planning 3 days at Magic Kingdom, I've got 3 more chances to get on those attractions. If I'm only going for like 5 days like you, Claire, and I've only got 1 day in Magic Kingdom, I want to work out what do I want to achieve on that day, and that's what I'm going to go for. If there's a must do that I want to do, you try and aim for that.
Yeah, and as I was saying at the beginning of the show, I've actually booked lightning lanes for Tuesday when I'm in Magic Kingdom because of the fact I know there are things I do want to do. I want to do Jingle Cruise because it's Jingle Cruise and I love it, and I definitely want to get on Haunted Mansion and things. I haven't booked a lightning lane for Tron. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. But and Seven Dwarfs, I can live without. It's not a massive draw for me, but I really wanted to maximize the time that I have, and if that means I don't have to stand in big queues, then it cost me $24, I think, for the day, which actually isn't. I've paid more than that for a lightning lane in Magic Kingdom. I tend to think that lightning lanes are useful if you are on a limited time. And also in certain parks more than others. I wouldn't bother with lightning lanes, the multi-lightning lane in Animal Kingdom or EPCOT. I would use them in Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. So, I'm on my own. I can meander as I wish. But I have paid that for them next week.
I actually think that's a good use of them. And as an advocate who forever would say, I don't like lightning lanes, I don't like paying for them, but I actually think if you're on your own, I think that for me is a really good.
I can smash it out. I can just roll them well into the other.
Great use of your time though, and actually it avoids you having to be stood in a queue having to make small talk with somebody that you don't like anyway. Sure. I wasn't going to say
But that exactly that, John. And I know I'm on a limited time because the park shuts at 6, and actually I need to be out of there before then because I'm doing something in the evening. So it is a case of sort of, for me, almost starting at the finishing point and working backwards as to what do I need to do that day. And I think if you in a big, so lightning lanes for me don't work when you're in a big group of people who can't decide what they want to do. Because you spend all your time going, what are we going to do? So you get in the queue and then you spend the next 20 minutes having the most mind-numbing argument around, so what are we going to do the next lightning lane for? Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, we've already done that. Oh, I don't fancy that. I'm just like, for me, I'm on my own. I can just go, right, next one, ping. I'll just smash everything out. And I will grab food and drink as I wish and stop if I want to. And, it doesn't matter. Whereas if you've got to satisfy a group of people who've got different wants, it's sometimes better not to bother with the lightning lane because you then can split up and you can, I can go to Small World, someone else can go and queue for Peter Pan. Good luck.
Minute queue before you get on
that. So I just think they work in certain circumstances, not all.
Yeah. I'll actually add to that, Claire, as well, because actually I was half expecting in the summer. I was prepared to pay for a lightning lane, and like middle of August, you're thinking, oh, it might get a bit busy, but actually we managed it, and we actually we went down that approach that you had, Ben, of like splitting the park into chunks and recognizing that if you go with the thought, we're going to queue up for that, take the hit on that, and then see what else you can pick up, and then the next time you're in the park, go a different route, plan out exactly what you hope to achieve, and be flexible. And we never actually went and bought one in the summer, and I think that was, again, we got lucky. Maybe we're there on the right day, because again, there are tools out there where you can actually look at busy day guides and actually look at which park is most recommended. They're using data over a period of years, so don't just cast it aside and go, what do they know? It does help.
I think that the busy day guides, and I am going to throw out touring plans because that's the one that I use. And I have a subscription to touring plans for Walt Disney World and for Universal Orlando. And I think it's a really, really valuable website. And I know we did shows about websites that help you before. I think touring plans is excellent. I never use the touring plans element of it.
No.
But I do use the busy day guide. I do use the planning tools, and I use the hotel room. Hotel room requests, and look at the views from the hotel rooms to pick out which room I want to request. So I do think it's worth every penny. And I use the busy day guides every time. So when I was planning which days to go where, I was using that, definitely.
We did something similar for August. We used touring plans, but a mix of the busy day guide, but also Undercover Tourist has got their own one as well.
Okay.
Just like three, and a lot of them come up with very similar information. So they're all going to get the same thing from the same. And I thought that was quite useful. Obviously, the only thing that was difficult for us was which day did we choose for Epic, because you're not going to know such a new park. And we all three of us had so different experiences.
Yeah. We went for the dry day. That was all.
It didn't rain on ours either, but it was so hot. But being in a family, everyone had a different idea of what they wanted to do and eat at different times, and it's just like you can't organise that sort of thing. So, and John, like you mentioned about EPCOT, and we didn't buy Lightning Lane for any of our day. But we did once go with a plan for EPCOT early entry to go and join the queue for Test Track. And then we were on that, and it took us 20 minutes, I think, on and off. And it was like we spent the rest of the morning before it rained, literally going every other attraction. Didn't realise how much we've managed to get done on a Sunday.
I think that's a good call, Ben. Just going back to the busy day guides, I actually quite like to compare, like you said, I've got touring plan subscription, but also I will look at what the DIB has to say, and I will also look at the Undercover Tourist one. The one thing I have found in the past that with touring plans, I end up in the right park more often than maybe some of the others, and that goes not just this year or last year. That's over probably 10 past. Probably too many years. That might be 15 years of looking at them and just trying to map out of where would be the best place on that particular day. Use them. They're there, and on the whole, they're free. I know touring plans you do have to subscribe for some of the more detailed and more wider stuff. But if you're there on the day, you can actually see what they predict it as being. And you get.
They've got an app as well that you can see live updates in crowd levels. So I think that's also quite useful for touring plans. Yeah,
that winds me up because if I printed out what that day's going to be, and then suddenly you're in the park on the day and it's gone from like it's going to be a 6, and then you're in the park. Oh, today is an 8. I'm like, oh yeah, now you tell me, mate. Like, that's it. But it's one of them. And also in Magic Kingdom, because I think one of the things to also bear in mind within Magic Kingdom is the fact it's a beautiful place to people watch. So don't always just keep yourself, Don't put yourself in that position where you're just chasing yourself from different ride to different ride. Create space and create time in your day, and just chill out.
Where's your favourite place to chill out? Where's your favourite place to hang out and watch people?
Just
I'm
don't
real-
the riverboat.
Well, you can't.
I actually really love at the very end of Main Street where the railway station is. I love just coming up, walking up the steps, but taking that look right down Main Street, and you just get to see such elation as people are walking in, but also when people are leaving at the end of the day. Plus, if you time it right, it's a great place to watch the flag retreat as well.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize I actually had watched it that many times this current year, but it seemed to be every time we were in Magic Kingdom, we just kind of, it happened as if by magic. And it was, again, don't miss it. Look at what, it's usually about 5 o'clock, but it's a beautiful place to actually just watch that, watch the ceremony, watch people being completely just, I don't know, it's beautiful. And actually, I just love the fact that you can actually do, if you're there early, you can get a good view of the parade in the afternoon, but you do have to be there early. But yeah, it's one of my favorite spots. What about you?
I quite like the benches underneath the Liberty Tree. So there are all the way around that segment, which has got Liberty Tree in it.
Yeah.
In Liberty Square, there are benches, and as long as it's not all, cordoned off for a parade coming, that's a really nice place to hang out. It's a little bit shaded, and I just think it's actually a really pretty area to hang out in. I think it's pretty underrated, and people just walk past it because there's like the popcorn cart opposite where the ferry boat used to be, and nobody really walks around that side of the Liberty Square because they're walking straight to get to Main Street. So that little garden area is actually quite nice. And then the bit by the Tangled toilets is quite good to sit and hang out. Where the phone chargers are in the log stumps. That's also quite a good place.
What about you, Ben?
We tend to normally have grabbed an ice cream or a coffee, so we'll always end up outside the plaza. So just looking towards the hub, so sitting down where you've got the sort of umbrellas and the seats there, but we'll normally be as close to the railing as possible. So because not everyone walks through all of those chairs and see everything going on.
Is that right by Casey's Corner Pianist?
The opposite side usually, but sometimes we will be there waiting for Grayson.
I think actually a lot of people miss some of those areas just around the hub. Before you enter into each of the lands, there are just some really nicely shaded and nicely they're just totally off the beaten track. And you see people and they've got acres of space.
It's like the AstroTurf bits.
Yeah.
Are in the at the top of Main Street. You can go and sit on the Astro. I've done that a few times. You can take some amazing photos just hanging out on the AstroTurf and go and sit on the ground. It's dry.
A lot of people just think because there's railings around.
Yeah, you can't go in there. And they do some photo stuff in there, but you can sit in the corner of it and just chill out and lay down and spread out and lie back and look at the sky and listen to the music and be grateful for being in Magic Kingdom. Not that I've done that.
Oh no, that's a really cracking spot. I'll tell you what, I'm just aware of time. I know
we've only done one part.
I know. There was something I was thinking we were going to get through this really quickly. Let's go to the studios next, because actually the studios is actually quite a. Apart from going to the Baseline Tap House for a beer and sitting outside and just watching the people pass by. I don't know. I've no idea. You would never catch me doing that. With a charcuterie board and just watch.
Just longingly looking at my
large mango cart. Thank you very much.
But yeah, the studios is a bit of a strange place because actually, you don't really get that opportunity until maybe you get to later on in the day when you can actually go and enjoy Fantasmic, or you've got the animation show on the Chinese theatre, where you know, and if you're that way inclined, you can sit and chill out and just have a nice time of it. I always tend to find that you kind of keep moving, and you keep sort of, you don't really.
I always do more steps in studios than I expect to in comparison to other parks, because it feels small. But I end up doing more shows.
I think a lot of it is if I'm watching a show at a certain time and then I'm going to that attraction, Galaxy's Edge, doing that, then going back to a show, and then once I've left the show, I'm then doing something.
Is that the key to it, Ben? Because you're not always on the go from ride to ride. You're actually interspersing it with a show, or you're on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway where you sat down.
It's more of that. I find we do at studios, especially now you've got like Villains, Fantasmic, all of one's Little Mermaid, all the things that you want to add into your day. There's so much if you're trying to do all of shows in one day. I do think it is the park that if I was to buy Lightning Lane, that would be the one I would do to get the most value out of. Because I think we've managed to get most of the attractions and shows all done in one day.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, if you've only got one day, then a Lightning Lane in Hollywood Studios is actually quite good value. I mean, you're going to knock an hour and a bit off the time for the queue for anything in Toy Story Land to start with. So,
yeah, and also, the other one as well. Save yourself a bit of time. If you've seen the Indiana Jones show before, then just give it a miss. You know, I gave up at least 45 minutes of my life this summer.
How very dare you! It's amazing.
I knew I was saying.
Millie specifically asked to go and see it because I'm a huge fan, John. I've seen it so many times. But Millie actually said one day, she said, "Can we go and see Indiana Jones?" I was like,
no,
"Yeah."
You can't. No way.
But I like to sit nice and close to the tech booth.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I spend the whole time thinking, are they just actors? Or are they actually doing stuff? And I don't know the answer to that. I'd like to know. And Zach knows someone who works on the show, so I might ask him. But I sit there watching them, and they've got flashy lights, and they're pressing things, and things are happening. I'm just thinking, either this is really well choreographed, and these are just actors sitting there doing stuff, or they are actually controlling the show. I don't know which it is.
Yeah,
I think that's on the show, or I like to think they are.
Well, that's what that's my brain then. I think they are, but then do you know what? That could easily be Harrison Ford sliding down that rope. So,
are you sure, Claire? Do you need glasses?
Maybe one day.
Bit of Disney magic, you know.
Maybe one day some aging 70-odd-year-old will come down. But they'll do a risk assessment. They won't let him do it, will they? No. His 30-year-old stunt double will be there instead. So that might be a better bet.
I think that's the thing. Is like it's working out what you'd want to skip. And Indiana Jones, we haven't done it in a few years. It's not something we do every time. But we'll do Frozen show every time just because we can't stop laughing.
What about Beauty and the Beast? I've seen it once and avoid it now.
I would say, last time we did it was 2021.
Yeah.
Just because we tried to do everything during the first trip we went back. But then, no, it's...
My first solo trip I did to Beauty and the Beast, having never, ever, ever done it.
Okay.
And now I know why I've never, ever, ever done it. It really didn't hit for me. And I've not done it since.
It doesn't for me, but it was one of those things that we went to last year, and I just thought, okay, there we go, tick, done.
Don't need to do it for another 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
But am I wrong in thinking that there is a real lack of just like areas to chill out in the studios, unless you go to the shows?
I would say that I chill out in the shops, in the stores, in Hollywood Studios. I will hang out looking at merch because there's some cool merchandise locations. Looking at the windows, Echo Lake at this time of year, and I know I've said this before. Echo Lake is probably my favourite place in all of Walt Disney World because the music, the background loop for Echo Lake Christmas. It's got the cute little Bambi reindeer. It's got Gertie with her bauble, and the music is amazing. And so, like vintage retro Christmas, so like 40s Christmas is totally my vibe. So that will be when I'm there next week when I'm in Hollywood Studios. I will hang out there for a bit. I'll probably get a coffee and I'll sit out near Gertie and just enjoy that.
Becca always said that she enjoys when I go on Tower of Terror because she can just sit there with a coffee when just watching coming off the ride, and it's just peaceful. Which I said, like, it's peaceful next to Tower of Terror, hearing everyone screaming on the ride.
Yeah. I think going back to the whole title of the show, though, can you escape the crowds in the studios? And I actually don't think you can.
No, they're everywhere.
I think it's the one place where, unless you see that magic number 13 outside the Tower of Terror, you just know that when you see a queue coming back down towards that entrance turnstile, and you're thinking, I'm going to be here a while. Same for Rock and Roller Coaster. When you see that the
outside,
and you're just like, okay, well, maybe go single rider.
That's an hour and a half,
and the same with Mickey and Minnie's as well. It kind of wears its heart on its shirt in a way of just the fact that that's the queue time. You don't really have anything else apart from the shows to actually fill in your time. So, which is possibly the opposite of what Animal Kingdom is, because actually in Animal Kingdom, when you've got big crowds and you've got long wait times on the main rides, you can actually just
hide elsewhere.
You can
easily
go and see
the amount of trails, the amount of so much to explain Animal Kingdom. And
Maharaja Jungle Trek, Gorilla Falls.
Yeah.
The experience we had was Merry Menagerie with Christmas. There's so much entertainment in that bit walking towards the tree. We just would walk out the shop and just hear the Still Johns being played and just the Christmas loop. I know Clay mentioned about Hollywood Studios, but there's something I find about the Animal Kingdom Christmas loop. It's really, really good.
What if they played the Jamming Jingle Parade? That would be brilliant.
Now we're talking.
Let's go back 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
I do quite like. I like the. So even in the middle of summer or when I'm on my own, and if it's not busy, I will always pick up those trails. I think they're vastly underrated in terms of theming, in terms of the interaction you can have with cast members. Do I go out to Rafiki's? I don't. I know. I like once every 5 trips. I get on the train out to Rafiki's.
We try to do it once a trip.
Because that is a great way to beat crowds. Is to go out there. It's like a little oasis. There's nice bathrooms. There's things to see. If your kids are if you or your kids are interested in animal welfare, there's the veterinary section. There is loads, and then there's the animations bit. So there is loads to do. Do I want to go and get jumped at by a stinky goat? Absolutely not.
No.
I think they should get rid of that bit. Really. But what do I know?
Yeah, it is an actual one of a kind, isn't it? And actually, the one thing, again, depending on what time of year you're at, which again fits in with the December the 1st show, it's a type of place that if you know that the rain's coming and you're there in August and it's everywhere else is busy, and again, if you're on Expedition Everest, Everest is going to go down for an hour or so. Jump on the train, get yourself in there, and actually it will just keep you'll stay dry, but you'll keep the kids entertained just purely from the fact that it's undercover and nobody else knows it's there. It's really weird.
People don't make the effort.
I spent there over Christmas. I remember Animal Kingdom was the day that I think we realised that we'd burnt out. So because we're only there for a week, we were literally leaving the room 6 o'clock in the morning, getting back past midnight. And it was just the day we got to Animal Kingdom, we were there for early entry at like 7 a.m. And by 11 o'clock, we tried to do both of the shows for Lion King and Finding Nemo, but we couldn't do them because every time we got to the queue, and they said like it's a 2-hour wait. It was to a point where they were cutting the line off because it was so busy that day that it was like we decided sometimes you get to a point where it was like, this isn't the park for us today, so we just went to Disney Springs instead, where it was empty.
Yeah.
But it was just sometimes you just get to that point in the day where you go like, no, we need to try this another day. And when we went back the next day off, and it was perfect. We managed to get all of that done.
I think that's a good call, Ben. And I think that's worth discussion as well, because actually there does come a cut-off time where and again, usually when the rain comes, when all the outside rides are shut, and then everyone then gets, if you bought a lightning line, you then get it transferred to come back and use any time. They're all going to go a lot quicker than you are if you're within the general queue. So you've always, and it's always worked that way, even when Fast Pass was around.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes cut your losses. Let's keep a sense of decorum and a sense of, in a way, a sense of reality about what you're doing, and just like chill out, get out, go and put the aircon on the car, or if it's cold in December, put the heating on in the car, which hire cars are not used to. But go and find something else to do, because actually what you don't want is to ruin not just your holiday but also your memories by again just being maybe that little bit selfish in just trying to max out way too much. But like I say, I think Animal Kingdom is one place that I think you could actually, I know we spoke about a Disney day without rides. I think we said, this is certainly one park where you actually you can do that, but you can avoid the crowds by just taking things slower and just going and doing the bits that other people don't want to do. It's a very strange thing, which leads us perfectly. I kept this to last because I thought it'd be the longest one that we'd do, but it leads us perfectly to EPCOT. EPCOT, when it's busy, is still doable, and it depends. I'll probably take it in two different ways. If the rides are busy, then there's loads to do. If World Showcase is busy with people who are maybe on they're
having a good time.
Yes, okay, that's a nice way. That's the way to describe it.
Yes.
Then there's still enough to go and do elsewhere, so that you're not involving yourself with the people who are out for a weekend, splashing the credit card, and then don't remember that they had way too much to drink. So I've got a list of about 10 places in EPCOT. Right, you guys go first, and then I'll pick up with anything that we haven't missed, because there are some parts of EPCOT where if it's busy, if there's big crowds, that there is just some perfect places to go. Claire, start us off.
Oh, okay. I was going to let Ben go because I started the last time.
All right, okay. Go on then, Ben.
Being polite.
Let's keep it fair. That's it.
Back of the UK pavilion. Not everyone goes back there. Yeah. And it's something, especially during holiday season, you're going to see Father Christmas. Certain times of the day, it's quite an interesting sort of story, and usually you've got band playing as well, and it's not something people hear the music as they walk through the pavilion, but they don't always take that turn and go and find out where it's coming from.
Okay,
that's a nice call. I like that.
I'm gonna go Moana's adventure, Moana's area, the water,
Journey of Water.
That's what it's called. Yeah. Don't hang out there, because actually it doesn't matter how many people are in there. You can wait for people to go past you, and I can spend an hour in there easily.
The music is amazing.
I'm not sure how it would be in the cold. If it was a really cold day, I'm not sure what to get wet, but I just think it's fun. And watching other people interacting with things, I love. Yeah. So like, the waterfall bit where there's like 7 spots where everyone stands, and if you all do it together, and you get that massive waterfall. I love watching complete strangers trying to sync each other, and then eventually someone goes, right, all together now, 1, 2, 3, and you can see all these people trying to do it on their own, and it doesn't quite work, and then gradually all the little slots fill up, and then someone goes, coordinates it all and takes the lead. And I love watching that from a distance. It's really cool because you just see this collaboration and like teamwork that happens.
Yeah.
It's a complete side hustle in terms of, you know, you're in a theme park. This is what we were talking about with Katie. You're in a theme park, you're learning stuff about water and the cycle of water, and you're learning leadership and team building skills that you didn't know that you were learning. I just love it. It's brilliant.
The amount of technology that's in that area as well.
It's great.
I just love the bit where it's like the water curtain where you're walking through and it's like, is it going to open?
Every time you like go, ah! But it works every time. I've not seen anyone get wet yet. And,
not yet. Yeah. Wait
always the
for
first
it.
time.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Where would you go, John?
I would go to the American Pavilion, the American Adventure, and just get yourself absorbed within the most beautiful sounds, and just Voice of Liberty in itself. But do take the time to just look at the exhibits that are on display, and then just look at the flags as you're going up the escalator, up the stairs, and then you've got the most perfect excuse if you need one to have a little snooze. However, I don't, because actually I really love the presentation and the film and the just everything about it, and I really do. I feel it's one of those places that even if the park is busy, this place never. Yeah, and even if it was rammed in there, that theatre is so big that it would eat up so many people that you actually would still be guaranteed a seat.
That's a good call. I do like that theatre. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, it is. And actually, I if you listen to this and you're from the UK, then I actually feel that it's very, very much down retelling the history of America. I actually think they do they don't really diss us as badly as we really deserved. Do
you know what, John? I go having been in that particular attraction a number of times.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I take away from it as a non-American, so obviously, regardless of which other nationality you might be, the thing that I take away from that every single time I watch it is an understanding, or at least an appreciation of the patriotism to the United States of America, and the way in which people feel about their flag, about their country, about their amendments, about their, you know, all of, you know, their the fact that they are a state which celebrates adventure and discovery and you know, independence and all of those things. That particular show demonstrates that in a way that I can understand.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them, but I appreciate why people feel the way they do. I think it does 100%. UK a bit dirty in some places, but you know, I think we get away with it. So you know, I'm not gonna hold it against them. But for me, there's something about, if you've never done it and you're from the UK, go and watch it, because next time you see people standing at flag retreat, for example, you will understand why that is important to them. Yeah. They say thank you to their veterans, thank you for their service and things like that. You will understand why that is important. So I think in terms of like the education about the country you're visiting, it actually does far more than you realise. That's my view of it. Sorry, that got a bit deep for a minute. Sorry.
No, I'm totally with you. And actually, that's the main reason I enjoy going, because I actually enjoy the reminder, you know, of the fact that America is still a very young country.
About 250 years, isn't it?
Yeah, and people forget that. You know, people forget that it's still, in a way, it's still in its infancy.
I think I've got cheese older than that in my fridge. Or it smelled like it when I opened my fridge earlier.
But that would be my go-to place. That's the top of my list, and I really feel that, you know, I would do it disservice if I didn't include that as my first choice.
It's good call.
Yeah.
Good call. I think for me, there's something about hanging out in the Mexico Pavilion.
Yeah.
Just go inside and chill and look at all the trinkets and the stuff, and look at how much it costs, and then go, not for me.
Yeah, when we were there and when it was really cold, they had the mariachi band indoors.
Yeah.
So it was so cold outside, and it was just we did the stop of the meet and greet in Norway for Anna and Elsa, and blaming her for why it was so cold. And
did you tell her that?
Oh yeah, she admitted it was her fault. So
excellent.
So that was a good day, but it was a day where it was so quiet in Epcot. Then we walked into like the Mexico Pavilion, sort of like just have wander around. It was like we can hear the mariachi band. It was like turning around where they normally are outside. It was like, no, that doesn't sound right. So we walked closer and further in. It was like, yeah, they were just outside and just inside. It was really, really good.
In that lobby.
Yeah.
And I actually feel that I know we're probably in repeat mode in a way, because every time we start talking about World Showcase, we keep ending up in certain places, because actually they are such good places to go and lose yourself, rather than putting yourself in a 2-hour queue for soaring, or putting yourself in a massive queue for Test Track. You can actually just go and just
hang out.
You basically fade into the park, and you know, I think that one thing is really good. I know I've said this before, but actually, once you miss the morning rush, go to the front of the park again. And just
start again.
But just get the whole, again, talking the music loop, but just absorbing it when you haven't got people rushing by you and the crowd's going by you.
World Celebration Loop. I am coming for you next week. Beautiful. I cannot wait. And I will have to FaceTime Morgan and play it to him.
Yeah. I can understand that.
The other place that's quite cool to hang out, if you're trying to avoid the crowds but don't want to go too far, Club Cool.
Yeah.
Go and get your free sodas. Do
enjoy
the whole lot. Do the whole lot in one cup. And also Creations is an amazing store. And if they haven't got it in Creations, they'll be able to tell you where to get it. But it's a bit like Mouse Gear was good.
I end up spending so much in that shop.
Creations is excellent store. It's got so much in it. And the more you look, the more you find. The homeware section is really great. So I love hanging out in Creations. And the attraction that I find never has a line is Mission Space Green. Orange tends to build a bit, because I think people like the jeopardy of are they going to feel rubbish afterwards? Will I vomit or not? But Mission Space Green is usually a 5-minute walk on. So if you're not claustrophobic and you don't mind like small spaces, go and ride Mission Space Green, because it's actually a great attraction, and you won't wait.
Oh, good call.
Sorry, just to
and
throw it in there.
And the other one as well is Journey into Wonderland.
I knew you were going there.
5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes is always worth it.
I've never done the Pixar shorts next door.
Haven't you?
No, never, ever.
It's worth it just for Piper. I really love Piper. I actually feel that the shorts need a little bit of a refresh and a little bit of TLC, just to make more people get in there. They're worth seeing. I think the theatre itself is underutilized. I think they could do a whole lot more with it.
What, like put like a sci-fi style 20-minute show with dancing and singing in it?
Maybe, or maybe just put Honey, I Shrunk the Audience back in. I'll be sorted with that. As long as Michael Jackson doesn't come back in, we're all right.
I don't think he's
Michael Jackson in the dark is never a good thing. And that's
meant to say that, John.
That's meant on a child protection point of view, not from anything else.
Wendy in the chat has just said Creations and Mitsukoshi are so big she likes spending time there. Absolutely, Mitsukoshi. That is a great place to hide out if it's busy.
No, we're shopping now. That's it.
Go and get your pearls. Sunny itchy. Join in. Watch everyone else and see what they get.
But stay a bit longer to see what happens the next time, because it's exactly the same show.
It is, but the pearls are all different.
Yeah.
They've gone up in price a lot as well.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they used to be like $18. They're now like $35.
Ooh,
they've gone up a lot. Millie and I got one in the summer, and I was like, that's a lot more money than I expected.
Yeah.
So we won't be doing that again in a rush.
I can't think of a bad place, because and again, I think this comes from the fact that you can always go for a drink, and you can always find somewhere
Go
off
watch
the
360 films, Canada far and wide, sing along at the end.
But Epcot's just got that space to absorb the crowds. And even if you're there over Christmas, certainly if you're there for New Year, it always used to, I think it was going back probably 15 years. I think I had a photo sent to me. There was a 5-hour queue for Soaring.
Oh my life.
And you're just like, you're just not gonna do it.
Why would you do that?
Just just go and just explore and just go and soak up the atmosphere. And that really is probably the biggest message from all of this. It's the fact that don't fight against a big crowd. That's probably a lesson in life. Don't fight against a big crowd. But
just keep swimming.
I think that's exactly it. Keep it on the Katie thing. And go with the flow.
Sometimes you're going to go into a park and it's going to be really busy, but sometimes you end up going to a park expecting it to be busy and actually it isn't. So it's just making the most of what the day has in store for you.
Yeah, no, I think so, and it is still magical. And I think that's what as much as we would all love to just take ourselves into a theme park and find ourselves the only people within that whole theme park all day, it's never going to happen. So
I like the atmosphere of other people.
Yeah,
I don't like being near them, but I do like the atmosphere it creates.
I don't know. I like it. I think it's a really. It becomes more magical because actually you're seeing the joy of so many more people, and I would even say some of the performers on the parade, irrespective of whatever park you're in, they're feeding off the fact that it's a busy day. And so they're putting so much more into their performance as well.
And interact with them, be part of it, join in.
Yeah.
Don't just stand there with your phone in front of your face.
Oh, goodness, yeah. Worst thing you could do. So
I think there's lots of ways that you can beat the crowds there, John. I think we've covered
I think we
haven't even mentioned go on a resort tour or a nip to Disney Springs.
No.
We'll keep that for a future show because actually, as we get into the new year, we'll be looking for different ideas for a Wednesday and different things to do, but also different bits of inspiration for our own holidays. And I think that's the key thing from all of this is the fact that we love going to our special place. We all love the fact that it doesn't matter how many people are there. It is truly magical. Claire, it's probably a pertinent time to say, just hope you have a fantastic time. I know you and Robin are going to catch up, which again is possibly the last little thing of, is it worthwhile buying a ticket for a party night? And I think because of the reduced crowds, because of the reduced crowds, it's worth doing, isn't it?
So what John is hinting at is that I was bullied, and forced. My arm was twisted up my back when we were recording 2 nights ago.
I think that might still be. I'm not sure, Ben, whether or not it made the cut into the show, but it was severe arm twisting.
It really was. There was definitely passive aggressive commenting going on. And so on the day that I arrive, so I'm going to do a transatlantic flight, grab my car, drive to my hotel, drop my stuff, get changed, and go to Jollywood Nights. And I worked out that actually, so my original plan on Monday was to go to Disney Springs. And I was going to be, so Sean and Michael are going to Jollywood Nights on Monday. And I was like, oh, do you want to go to Disney Springs? So they're like, no, we're going to Jollywood Nights. So I was like, oh, okay. And I decided when we planned it ages ago, I was going to do Jollywood Nights or the Christmas party because I've never done the Christmas party and I have done Jollywood Nights. I was like, I'm going to do the Christmas party. That's all booked. 4th. And then I was like, Monday night, I'm going to get there. I'm going to jump on the bus. I'm going to go down to Disney Springs, do my bit of shopping that I need to do, have a drink at Chocs and go through the menu and just hang out. And, get back to the hotel 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and get a good night's sleep. And then I thought, well, I'm totally not going to do that because actually by the time I get to Disney Springs, I'm just going to be exhausted. I'm going to be on my own. I'm just going to want to get back on the bus. I'm going to fall asleep on the Disney bus in the dark on the way back to the hotel. So if I go to Jollywood Nights, I will definitely stay up and sort out my jet lag. And I'll get to hang out with Sean, Michael and Robin. And the decider for me was that I can go meet Bing Bong. So Bing bong, I'm coming for you. And I said to Millie, do you think he smells of bubblegum? She went, no, mummy, he'll smell of sweaty costume. I was like, I really hope not.
Keeping going on the just
but I need to go meet Bing Bong and have a hug from Bing Bong. That's a deal breaker for me.
We'll be asking you about the smelly costume then when you come back. That's probably the first sign that you know when that time when your kids are getting to that particular age and stage of their life.
She's cutting.
Yeah,
she's brutal.
It is,
but yeah,
it's just like
so Phineas and Ferb, Bing Bong. We're going to do all the meet and greets. We're going to go and see the shows, and yeah, hang out and have fun.
Wonderful.
So yeah,
that sounds brilliant.
Starting with a blast, absolutely. Getting on how I mean to go on for the rest of the week.
Like getting over jet lag straight away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just keep going.
For
the whole. Yeah.
That's what coffee's for.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot. You might need a lot of coffee to just balance out the alcohol.
I'll be in Magic Kingdom at 8 o'clock the next morning. It'll all be good.
I was going to say you'd be a 2-hour queue for coffee and
no chance. That's brilliant. Have a great time. I know you will. That's the bit. I look forward to seeing loads of pictures on your social.
And we should wish all our American friends a happy Thanksgiving.
I was going to finish the show with
were you?
I was.
I haven't looked at the script, so I've no idea.
Rather than finishing the way we normally, I've got that old box stuff. I was going to say a big thank you to everyone in the chat, because actually we didn't actually get round to you guys at the start of the show because we just had so much news, and I do apologise because I know we've had so many people there. Sean, have a great time as well while you're away. Heather, thank you for joining us as always. We know you've been there. Wendy, you've been in the chat as well. The list is endless. If I've missed you, I do apologise, because actually I should really put my glasses on for this particular bit, because I'm just scrolling through YouTube to see if I've missed anyone. But if I did, I do apologise. But we know you're there, and we really appreciate it. If you listen on the podcast on Friday, can I also just leave the apologies until the end? I think that's probably the best way. We had an attack of the gremlins last week, and I think, Ben, it was something to do with your microphone or something. So if you made it through the whole of last Friday's podcast, thank you. We appreciate that. We've no idea how that sort of occurred or anything like that, but thanks for sort of just enduring that as we went.
It was a show that had lots of gremlins, from cameras deciding not to work.
It was bizarre, and it happens from time to time. But most importantly, rather than finishing as we normally do, I'm just simply going to raise a glass. I'm going to wish every one of our friends in the US a very special, a very happy Thanksgiving from everybody at the Great British Mickey Waffle. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Now my wheels in motion and my